When the cage door burst open with a deafening clang, the massive German Shepherd exploded into the square like a storm given flesh. Its roar ripped through the air, a sound so primal it sent parents grabbing children and bystanders scrambling. In every direction, screams echoed off the stone walls as the crowd stampeded, tripping over bags, knocking over stalls, desperate to escape the fury now charging across the pavement. But in the heart of that chaos, one man didn't move. He stood tall despite his age, leaning only slightly on a weathered wooden cane. His silver hair caught the golden light of the late afternoon, and his black flat cap sat firmly in place. Dressed in a crisp white shirt, dark vest, and polished shoes, Elias Thompson looked like any other retiree out for a stroll, except for the calm in his eyes. While the world erupted around him, he remained rooted, his gaze locked on the animal barreling straight toward him. The dog's muscles coiled with every stride, saliva flying from bared fangs, its growl vibrating through the square like thunder. People shouted at Elias from the sidelines, "Run! Get out of the way!" But he didn't flinch. His back stayed straight, his breath steady. The beast was seconds away, close enough to smell the heat of its breath, close enough to see the madness in its wild, bloodshot eyes. And then it lunged, jaws wide, teeth gleaming in the sun. The German Shepherd launched itself through the air, aimed straight for Elias's throat. Gasps tore through the crowd. A woman screamed, pulling her child's face into her chest. Cameras rolled, hands shaking, capturing what everyone believed would be a tragedy. But Elias didn't blink. Instead, with emotion so slow it seemed to defy time, he raised his hand not to strike, not to shield, but to offer. His wrinkled fingers stretched forward, steady as stone. His voice, when it came, was barely above a whisper, yet it cut through the noise like truth. "I see you." The dog froze midair, its body tensed, muscles locked, growl still rumbling in its chest, but something shifted. In that split second, the fire in its eyes flickered, not with submission, not with fear, but with recognition. Elias had seen that. Look before. Years ago, he'd worked at a military canine facility, training German Shepherds not with fear, but with patience. He remembered one dog in particular, abused, isolated, conditioned to attack on command, broken by cruelty, yet still clinging to a spark of trust. This dog looked exactly like him. Same scar above the left eye, same slight limp in the back leg, same haunted gaze. "You weren't born angry," Elias whispered, his hand still outstretched. "They made you afraid." The growl wavered, then faltered. The dog landed softly, almost gently, and stood trembling, inches from the old man. Its chest heaved, its breath ragged, but it didn't advance. The crowd held its breath. No one moved. No one spoke. Slowly, Elias lowered his cane to the ground. With his free hand, he reached out again. The dog's ears twitched, its nose twitched. And then, against every instinct, every expectation, it leaned forward, its muzzle pressed into Elias's palm, not in aggression, not in testing. In surrender. A whimper escaped the animal, a low, broken sound that echoed through the silence like a confession. Tears welled in Elias's eyes as he gently stroked the dog's scarred head. "You're not a monster," he said, voice thick. "You're just hurt." The square stood frozen. Mothers clutched their children. Vendors peeked from behind overturned carts. A young man lowered his phone, stunned. This wasn't just control. This wasn't luck. This was something deeper, something ancient. A connection beyond words, beyond fear. Elias knelt slowly, his joints protesting, and placed a hand on the dog's shoulder. The animal didn't pull away. Instead, it sat calmly, deliberately, and leaned into him, as if it had been waiting. Years for this moment. Minutes passed. No one dared break the silence. Then, animal control arrived, nets in hand, ready to subdue the dangerous animal. But Elias raised a hand without looking. "There's no need," he said firmly. "He's not dangerous anymore." The officers hesitated, then lowered their tools. Elias stood, picked up his cane, and took a single step forward. The dog rose. With him side by side, man and animal walked through the square, not in triumph, but in peace. The crowd parted without a word. Some wiped tears. Others simply stared, humbled. A little boy pulled on his mother's sleeve and whispered. He wasn't scary. He just wanted someone to stay. Later, the footage would go viral. News outlets would call it a miracle. Scientists would debate the psychology. But those who were there knew the truth. Fear spreads fast, it commands attention, it makes us run, but compassion stands still, it doesn't shout, it doesn't fight, it simply says, "I see you," and changes everything. Before we go, if this story moved you, hit like, subscribe, and let us know, where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. I love seeing how far these moments travel, because sometimes the most powerful thing in the world isn't strength, speed, or fear.